Straight ahead on 12 News, new details released on the New Hope City Hall shootings.
This incident was over from start to finish in just seconds. Just seconds.
And trying to answer the question how someone with a history of mental illness was able to get a gun in the first place. Plus, looking at the toll of being a police officer.
It invades their personal life, their professional life.
12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. We are getting a clearer picture about the events that led up to the shootings at New Hope City Hall.
Today, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office and New Hope Police laid out a timeline of what led up to Monday's incident. Sonia Goins joins us live now with more. Sonia?
Now, Mike and Alex, City Hall reopened at 9 a.m. this morning. Now, I'm standing in the entryway of City Hall, and this is where the shootings actually took place. As you can tell, it's not too far from the City Council chambers. Now, police don't have a motive, but they do want the public to know that City Hall is safe.
Resolution authorizing the purchase of an electronic reader board sign.
Get down, get down.
The chaos that erupted at Monday night's City Council meeting is chilling.
Get down, everyone get down.
Somebody got shot.
Stay down.
68-year-old Raymond Kmetz entered City Hall shortly after 7 with what authorities described today as a pistol-grip shotgun.
Kmetz deliberately fired his gun at the officers.
I solemnly swear.
Joshua Ernestine, the officer to the right, was just sworn in as a New Hope police officer when he was shot. Officer Bo Schoenhart was also hit.
This happened very fast.
2 New Hope police officers fired back at Kmetz, killing him.
People need to know, if you fire on a police officer, they are prepared and trained to fire back.
Authorities say Kmetz purchased ammunition earlier in the day, but they won't say where from. Officials also don't know what caused Kmetz to take aim at police.
There were a lot of people out in that lobby, and there was not a lot of space to stand. So it's hard to say what his motives are and what his intentions were.
The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office says Kmetz had a long history of mental illness and run-ins with police.
He is a prohibited person under state law. He should not have had access to any type of weapon.
Leading up to the shootings, Kmetz made several contacts with officials from the city of New Hope and Crystal.
Kmetz stated he was very upset with the city of Crystal with the fact that they were not giving his property back and that he was going to bring a gun to retrieve his property.
Stanek won't say what that property was. Meanwhile, the community is trying to heal from the tragedy.
So many have been impacted, and our thoughts and prayers are with all of them.
Now, the names of the 2 New Hope officers who shot Kmetz have not been released. We should get that information in a few days. Meanwhile, the 2 shooting victims say they're very grateful for the public support. In New Hope, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Sonia. And Raymond Kmetz had a history of addressing the city councils in both New Hope and Crystal, and that goes back to 2008.
A search of the City Council video archives over the past 5 years shows 2 incidents in New Hope in which he made accusatory statements toward city officials. Delane Cleveland has more now on his history.
My name is Raymond Kmetz.
The date was March 28, 2011.
I'm going to address you with an issue that I think is your issue.
The New Hope City Council listened to Raymond Kmetz complain about an environmental issue at what was then his residence on Nevada Avenue.
But I'm here to tell you that I've lived there for 33 years. And your inspector is saying that I've got buried fuel barrels up there.
But about 20 seconds later, he goes off into a bizarre tangent.
I'm here to tell you, people, that you've got to take care of this environmental issues, that somebody vandalized my property, raped my family, come in and stole their money right out of my safe for their groceries.
3 years later,
right now I'm homeless. And that's kind of why I'm up here.
He was back at New Hope City Hall again, addressing the council in August of 2014.
I got busted up by 5 of your policemen, shot, tased. My oldest son got arrested.
He was referencing an incident that happened in 2009. Court documents show that an officer tried to arrest Kmetz on a warrant for making terroristic threats, but he failed to follow the officer's orders. Meanwhile, the Star Tribune reports that Kmetz had to undergo court-ordered mental health treatment in 2009.
In other words, holding me under incarceration in all these nut hospitals, Anoka and St. Peter and Hennepin, and I've went through every test that the state of Minnesota's got.
Exactly what prompted Kmetz to act the way he did on Monday remains a mystery. But at least in 2011, the council didn't view him as any sort of threat.
Well, thank you, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're always welcome to come in and talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
A little more info on Kmetz. He and his wife divorced in 2010. He owned a landscaping business that went under. And the city of Crystal had filed a restraining order against him for several incidents, including one in which Kmetz tried to run over a police officer with a bulldozer. Now, Mike and Alex, in 2013, his son Nathan publicly questioned his father's civil commitment, saying at the time his father was not mentally ill. According to the Star Tribune, a final evaluation found Kmetz suffered from an organic brain dysfunction. Mike and Alex?
All right, thank you. And New Hope City Council members who heard the shootings during the meeting continued to limit their comment to prevent jeopardizing an ongoing investigation.
Councilmember Eric Lammle, who himself is a police sergeant, wrote on his Facebook page to thank New Hope Police for their actions that save lives. He wrote, "I would also like to extend my thoughts and prayers to our officers and employees who handled this incident with heroism and professionalism." The job of law enforcement has always been a stressful one. Difficult circumstances are part of the profession. Yet the shooting at New Hope City Hall calls attention to the unpredictable nature of the job.
It's the idea and the fact that one never really knows from where and when the danger may come.
Licensed psychologist Dr. Michael Keller knows well the stress of police work. A police officer himself for 15 years, Keller now counsels hundreds of officers.
Regardless of the size of the city, regardless of the size of the agency, it seems like law enforcement is under greater stress. Many officers report to me feeling that they're under siege.
Keller believes the New Hope City Hall incident highlights the greatest stress of all for police, the unpredictability of the job, and the idea that an officer never knows when and where danger might appear.
Being in a constant state of activation, always being on alert, always being aware that danger lurks from any possible direction, from any possible person, is extremely stressful. It invades their personal life, their professional life.
That ongoing stress makes the need for resiliency training and learning techniques to cope all the more important during an officer's career.
Learning how to acquire and sustain a healthy lifestyle with regard to nutrition, sleep, relationships, and keeping things in perspective, yet still recognizing that the work of law enforcement is extremely dangerous, it's always uncertain, and not always necessarily well rewarded.
After a traumatic event such as the New Hope case, Dr. Keller says there's typically a debrief with officers and counseling staff to process the experience and try to moderate the acute stress that happens as a result of the incident.
In other news now, a New Hope man is in jail following a standoff with police that lasted nearly 10 hours. Police were called to a home in the 5900 block of Boone Avenue North for a domestic disturbance. The suspect was holed up in his home and refused to come out. Police were first called to the home shortly after 6 p.m. Tuesday. They were finally able to clear the area shortly before 4 this morning. The man was arrested without further incident. He now faces a domestic assault charge. The suspect does have an extensive court history. He previously served time for a felony domestic assault conviction.
A new report released today shows the number of people using mass transit is going up. The number of people taking buses and trains rose more than 3% last year over 2013. Much of the increase was attributed to the opening of the transit line between Target Field and downtown St. Paul. The figures from the Met Council also show Maple Grove Transit and Plymouth Metrolink had a combined 1.3 million bus riders last year. Governor Dayton is proposing a half-cent Metro sales tax to expand mass transit even more. Coming up, gadgets for your home, a look at how smart technology can save you money.
And later in sports, top-ranked Champlin Park shoots for another win in boys basketball.
But first, cold winter weather makes a comeback. Temperatures start to plummet this weekend. Home technology systems are now smarter than ever.
You can control many aspects of home life right from your smartphone. And reporter Shannon Slatton explains which ones can save you the most money and which ones can make your house stand out if you want to sell.
functions are right here.
There's so much
Really one-touch operation, really simple.
that Sean Jones can control from his iPad mounted on the wall of his Maple Grove home.
It acts as my remote for the music system, also for the TV system in the house. I can view and change my thermostat settings on it. I have outdoor cameras that I can view on there, and also indoor cameras if I want to see if anything happened in the house while I was gone. And I can also open and close the garage door with it.
Jones likes technology in his home and in others. He installs it for a living.
This is exactly what we do. We integrate and add technology to everybody's house.
Some of the upgrades, like monitoring smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, are useful, while some gadgets are simply to make your life easier, like using your smartphone to check your home security system.
Some of these systems were in the thousands and now they're in the hundreds. So it's significantly, well, and the technology is better too.
RE/MAX Advantage Plus realtor Andy Pratsky says when it comes to saving money, a programmable thermostat can give you regular savings.
They track your usage and they actually will give you efficiency reports. There's nothing better than to be able to look at your furnace and say, hey, I'm being efficient and here's the proof.
While bigger entertainment systems won't necessarily give you a return on investment, it could be worthwhile if you are looking to sell your house.
Technology now is bringing buyers in and they're remembering your house. Your house will actually stick out. And that's what it's all about, is giving yourself an advantage in the marketplace so that you actually sell versus the competition on the street that doesn't.
In Maple Grove, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And the programmable thermostats out now are much more advanced than they used to be. Some are even designed to learn your heating preferences automatically and adjust accordingly. Coming up, a repeat of 2012, why the Loppet is being lopped or moved.
But first in sports, an overtime thriller between Osseo and Park Center in girls basketball. John Jacobson has your highlights up next.
This was a nail-biter. Two good basketball teams, an overtime game, and a 1-point difference.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
this was a good one. After Osseo dominated the girls' basketball series with rival Park Center for a long time, the Pirates have come on strong the past couple of seasons. The teams played a thriller Tuesday night at Park Center. Ariana Jones finds Azaria Reed cutting for 2 of her 18 points. The Orioles lead at 12-7. Park Center surges ahead. Hannah Shaw nails a 3 on her way to a 16-point night. They go into Michaela Hayes for 2 and a foul. She scores 19, and the Pirates lead 40-31 at halftime. Second half, and Fishayo Ayo-Babadelli buries a jumper for 3. Park Center leads 47-44. Kiara Russell will get a steal at half court, takes it all the way in for the layup. And Osseo ties it up. Regulation ends in a 62 tie, and we head to overtime in OT. Park Center seems to take command. Camille McCoy hits a jumper to put them up 68-64. But Osseo storms back. Michaela Homeland nails a 3 from the right side to pull them within 1. Down 2 in the final seconds. Russell sets up Jones for a 3. And that's the game winner, and Osseo wins a great game, 70-69 in overtime. The Orioles and Pirates boys teams didn't have much varsity experience returning this season and have struggled at times, especially Park Center. Osseo looked for the season sweep of the Pirates Tuesday. Lawrence Agunti drills a 3 as Park Center gets out to a 5-0 lead, but it doesn't last. That's because Elliot Kane takes over. He scores while falling in the lane here. When the Pirates defense backs off, Kane buries a 3 to put the Orioles up 16-7, and he is just getting started. Kane pulls up for a 3 and hits, part of a 23-point first half for him. And Osseo's lead grows to 21-7. Park Center battles back. Shauna Brooks splitting the defenders to score. They're within 8. But Osseo surges late in the half. Zach Tyson buries a corner 3. The Orioles lead by 17 at the half. Second half, and Cameron Betty rebounds his own miss to score 2 of his 17 points. Alan Anderson has a strong second half for Osseo, and the Orioles pull away. They rout the Pirates 90-57. Though they've had some tough challenges this season, Champlin Park's boys basketball team enters this week still unbeaten. Number 1 team in Class 4A, hosting Centennial. Rebels on the run early. JT Gibson to Jonathan Johnson for the dunk, and they build the lead. Centennial comes back, though. Alexander Fakin's triple cuts Champlin Park's lead to 28-25. Gibson answers for CP with a quick catch and shoot three-pointer. Rebels lead 37-31 at halftime. Second half, it's all Rebels. Jeremy Johnson's shot drops, plus the foul on this play. And then Gibson will find Aaron Klepner, and he'll drop the money ball for a 50-31 Rebels lead. Jonathan Johnson adds the exclamation point with an alley-oop dunk as Champlin Park stays undefeated. They win big 88-67. The Rebels are now 19-0. This is the final week of the regular season in girls hockey. The fifth-ranked Wayzata girls faced off at home Tuesday night against number 6 Edina in a big Lake Conference clash. First period, Edina's Taylor Williamson sends Lolita Fiddler in on a breakaway, but Wayzata's Sarah Stelter comes up with a save. No score after a period. Second period, and both teams with good scoring chances, but the goalies stand tall. Edina's Anna Goldstein stops Allie Wiedela's shot and then covers up on the rebound. Great tape-to-tape pass from Anna Klein here to Emily Oden. And Stelter comes up with another huge stop, and it's still scoreless through 2. Edina gets the only goal of the game in the third period when Molly Myrie buries a shot, and Edina wins at 1-0. The Trojans close out the regular season Thursday at Mounds View. In adapted floor hockey, the Robbinsdale Hopkins PI Division team starts the season as a 4-time defending state champion. Robbins hosting the Anoka Hennepin Mustangs. Sean Johnson to Jordan Klein for the one-timer, and the Robins are on the board in the first period. A face-off is won back to Jeremy Jost. His shot finds his way in for a 2-0 Robins lead. In the third period, Klein sets up Johnson for the goal, and it's 3-1 Robins. The Mustangs keep fighting, though. Kai Francis's goal makes it a 3-2 game. The Robins get 3 more goals down the stretch, and they win it by a final score of 6-3. Highlights from Northwest Suburban Conference Nordic Skiing coming up Thursday starting at 4.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, thousands are set to descend on Wirth Park in a way that wasn't necessarily expected.
We'll explain next.
Well, what a difference a year makes.
Yeah, last year there was plenty of snow on the ground for cross-country skiers. This year, a different story. Recent warm weather and a lack of snow is forcing the organizers of the City of Lakes Loppet to move the event to Wirth Park this weekend, where there is man-made snow available. They also did that in 2012 when there was a snow shortage. And Director John Munger says they're trying to make the best of the situation. They expect up to 5,000 skiers and 15,000 spectators this weekend. Right now, he says the hardest thing is that they are working on all the logistics. And by the way, there will be fireworks Friday night at the Wirth Golf Course, and that starts at 8 o'clock. The difference between 2012 and this year is they have a lot more events planned, so a lot of things to work into Wirth Park. Yeah.
Sure.
That'll do it for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.